There was one thing that almost every great scholar in history had in common, and it was not wealth, power, or fame. It was their relationship with knowledge, their love for reading, and their deep commitment to learning. When we look back at the greatest minds of Islamic civilization, the scholars whose words still guide hearts centuries later, we begin to notice a powerful pattern. They all built their lives around books, reflection, and the pursuit of truth. Knowledge was not just something they collected, it was something they lived for. Think about this for a moment. While most people were asleep, many of these great scholars were still awake, reading, writing, reflecting, and searching for deeper understanding. Their nights were often filled with books, manuscripts, and long hours of study. Imam Bukhari is one of the most powerful examples of this. It is said that during the night he would wake up again and again, light his lamp, write down a beneficial thought or narration that came to his mind, and then return to sleep, only to wake up again later. Sometimes this happened 20 times in one single night. Imagine that level of dedication. Imagine caring so deeply about preserving knowledge that even sleep could not stop you. Then there was Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, one of the greatest minds in medicine, philosophy, astronomy, and science. He spent countless nights reading and writing. Whenever sleep began to overcome him, he would refresh himself and continue studying. His work influenced the world for centuries. Ibn Rushd, known as Averroes, was another giant of knowledge. It is famously said that there were only 2 nights in his entire life when he did not read a book: the night of his wedding and the night his father passed away. Just think about what that means. Reading was not an activity for him, it was a way of life. Imam Nawawi dedicated almost every moment of his day to knowledge and worship. He valued time so deeply that he reduced everything unnecessary in his life so he could focus on learning, writing, and serving the truth. Even rulers understood this secret. Sultan Selim, one of the great Ottoman rulers, was known to read for many hours every day. Even while traveling on military campaigns, he would carry books with him. Because true strength has always been connected to knowledge. The great scholar and poet Rumi once said, "Read for the sake of God, because without reading, one cannot become anything." And truly, this is one of the deepest realities of life. A person who does not read slowly loses depth. The mind becomes distracted, the heart becomes empty, the soul becomes tired. Maybe this is one of the reasons so many people today feel spiritually exhausted. We spend hours scrolling, watching, and consuming endless distractions, but how much time do we spend feeding our hearts and minds with real wisdom? The great scholars of the past had the same 24 hours that we have today. What made them different was how they used their time. Every moment mattered, every hour had purpose. Perhaps the reason they changed history was not because they were born different, but because they lived differently. So now ask yourself a simple question. What are you feeding your mind with every day? What are you reading? What thoughts are shaping your heart? Because every great legacy begins with one small habit, and sometimes that habit is simply opening a book. Maybe today is the day you begin again. Read something that strengthens your soul. Read something that brings you closer to truth. Read something that changes the way you see life. Because perhaps the secret of all great scholars was never really a secret. They simply never stopped learning. If this message touched your heart, like the video and follow the channel for more reflections and powerful reminders.